Thank you all for joining us. This is Public Health Graduate School Mini Virtual Fair. I'm Nicholas Mahoney, Senior Manager of Student Services at ASPPH. I'll be moderating today's session, and I ask that all of you have your video off and are muted. We'd really appreciate that so that just the speakers are on video and with their sound on. So please just remember to stay muted during the presentation. Using the chat mechanism, you'll be able to ask questions throughout the presentation. We will save our questions till the end and try to keep your questions as general as possible. You can ask specific questions on the second part of this event, where you'll be able to go into our breakout rooms and speak directly with our institutions. You can also edit your layout so that you only see the speakers, and you can also hide non-video participants. We will be recording this session and posting it onto YouTube in the next couple of weeks, and you can find recorded presentations if any of your friends want to watch it on thisispublichealth.com/events. Here's a list of our presenters. Drexel University, Northwestern University, Rutgers, University of Arizona, University of Iowa, University of North Carolina, and University of Pittsburgh. We welcome our first presenter, Drexel University.
Can you hear me okay, Nick?
This sounds great.
Great, thanks. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Just wanted to take the next few minutes to share a little bit about Drexel University and the Dornsife School of Public Health. My name is David Wood. I'm the Executive Director of Recruitment and Enrollment at Dornsife. So advance the slide here. A little bit about Drexel before I talk about the School of Public Health. Drexel University is a comprehensive global research institution. It was founded back in 1891, and what's really a takeaway for you today tuning in, there are 3 campuses. The School of Public Health is located on the University City campus, though we work closely with the Queen Lane campus where the medical school is located, and in Center City where the College of Nursing and Health Professions is located. For some of you, you might be interested in the MPH or master's degree that is fully online. We do have fully online degrees through the School of Public Health. Drexel Online is one of the oldest and most successful providers of online education and programming at the university and across the country. We're a large institution. There's over 200 degrees and programs, and then there are 15 academic units that make up Drexel University, but certainly, like I said, what I'm here to talk about is the School of Public Health. And Dornsife's mission is really about improving the health of communities and populations. We're committed to solving the world's most difficult health challenges. You can see a note here from Dean Ana Diaz-Rue, who it's all about the understanding of science and then taking that understanding and putting that understanding into action. Here is a bit more information about Dean Ana Diaz-Rue. Originally came from Buenos Aires in Argentina as a pediatrician. You can see she has her MD. She was faculty at Columbia and the University of Michigan prior to her coming to Dornsife. She's been here for the last 5 years, and under the dean's leadership has quadrupled the research portfolio. So very excited about research opportunities, not only for our doctoral students, but also for our master's students here at Dornsife. Recently, the Dornsifes, they have given a $9 million gift from Dana and David Dornsife to establish a research center on racism and health. So we have many research institutions and centers here at Dornsife, kind of raising the brand and profile of the School of Public Health, but are most excited about this recent news with the $9 million gift that was given just a few months ago. Some of you might be familiar with the U.S. News and World Report rankings. That Dornsife is ranked #1 here in the city of Philadelphia and is top 15% across the country. So a little bit more about the School of Public Health. I mentioned how large the institution is, Drexel University, but we are kind of a mid-sized School of Public Health, having over 100 faculty members. It's a very personalized place at Dornsife with the 5-to-1 student to faculty ratio. Be happy in the breakouts to go into more detail about our MPH offerings, our MS and doctoral, and our dual degree offerings. We also have graduate minors at Drexel. That's something that not many other institutions have, and that's something, like I said, we can talk about in more detail, but you're able to complete a graduate minor in addition to earning a graduate degree. And the 12 research centers and programs, most recently adding that Center on Racism and Health. So this is a busy slide because this has what our graduate offerings are through the School of Public Health. Most common, we see students that are joining are either that fully online or the full face-to-face MPH program, but you can see the different concentrations that we have at Dornsife and a number of doctoral and master's degrees. Those online offerings, that is new. That's something we've just brought in our second cohort just last week to the online space. So that is very exciting, including those flexible plans of study. Another piece that I did want to call out that is somewhat unique to Drexel and to Dornsife is the lengths in which the plans of study can be completed. The MPH can be done in a 12-month plan of study or an 18-month. So this accelerated degree offering is something that is also relatively new to the Dornsife School of Public Health. So did just want to call that out. And I know that we'll have time to discuss that in much greater detail when we go into those breakout rooms. But wanted to kind of highlight our academic offerings and our location. And then just a few other quick things. Test scores are not a requirement at the School of Public Health for any of our master's students. Hours of practice is something that we're very civically engaged across the city of Philadelphia. And so that's something that's very important to our graduate students that we do extremely well. Obviously, financing your degree is something that should be very, top of mind when you're thinking about applying to different schools of public health. Over 92% of our master's students are receiving scholarships. And then we do have, since it's rolling admissions, we do have an endowed scholarship deadline that sneaks up on everybody every year. That's January 15th. So that's something to be mindful of for face-to-face students that are applying through SOFES to make sure to have that application submitted and verified prior to January 15th to maximize those scholarship opportunities. Then it's also important for you to think about your outcomes, the reason why you're earning this graduate degree. 90% of our graduates are employed 6 months after graduation. So that's, again, something that is very important and that we are vested in our student success upon completion of degree. So again, my name is David Wood, Executive Director of Recruitment. Have my email address here, and I know we're saving questions towards the end, but I can go ahead and turn it over to the next presenter.
Thank you so much. We now welcome Northwestern University.
Thank you. I'm Maureen Moran, Director of Admissions and Graduate Affairs for the program in Public Health at Northwestern, and I'm delighted to have a few minutes to tell you about our offerings at Northwestern. We like to say that you can take your career in a Northwestern direction and earn either the Master of Public Health or the Master of Science in Biostatistics at the Research University ranked number 9 in the nation. We are located on Northwestern's Chicago campus, part of the Feinberg School of Medicine. The Chicago campus also houses a number of doctoral degrees, the physical therapy doctoral degree, and a law school, as well as 4 or 5 hospitals, depending on which way you're counting. We have state-of-the-art facilities and the academic technology to support learning in the classroom and in the community. Of course, we've been online for the last 18 months, but we are gradually, and we hope by winter, going to be back as an in-person only MPH program. So what sets us apart? And I guess it is the fact that you can complete the degree, the Master of Public Health or the MS in Biostatistics, in just 12 months. We start in summer, going mid-June to mid-June. We also offer the option of doing a part-time program, which can be completed in 24 months. Summer start, mid-June, and a fall start, MPH only, mid-September. And those part-time students have up to 5 years to complete the degree, although no one takes that long, usually 24 to 30 months. Students get some practice experiences at Northwestern. The applied practice experience we call the APEX, and students work with partner sites in our Chicago area. Some students also have the option of going abroad for the applied practice experience. And you see a list there of both not-for-profit and government agencies. The culminating experience is a project paper and presentation that students do just at the end of their time with us. And I have here a few sample titles of culminating experiences that were completed in the last year or two. Now, the MS students have a thesis project, and they have a full project pitch that they liken to Shark Tank, where the students are the sharks, and they get to hear faculty pitches on projects that would be suitable for students. And you can see there a couple of titles of recent thesis projects that students completed in the last 4 or 5 months of their 12 months with us. Tuition, am I coming through okay? I'm hearing some chatter.
Yeah, you are. I'll try to mute the other person.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Our tuition is looks a little steep, but consider it's 1 year. So $20,020 per quarter for 4 quarters. The part-time students pay per unit, with 14 to 16 units being required for the degree. The merit scholarships are pretty much automatic. There's no separate application required, and those scholarship offers are made shortly after the admission decisions are released. And right now we're a little bit under 25% of tuition as a scholarship, and we're hoping that for those students matriculating in 2022 that we're going to get closer to 25% of tuition covered. Our recent graduates go on to a number of different non-governmental organizations, academic institutions, consulting firms, and pharma, particularly the MS students. And some go on to medical school or doctoral programs in public health or biological sciences. So there's the some of the places where our grads are employed. Application requirements. Because we start in summer, the baccalaureate or professional degree must be awarded by June 20th, 2022. There are no prerequisites except for the epidemiology concentration, which requires college level statistics or calculus, and the biostatistics program, which requires a year of college level calculus. Linear algebra is helpful but not required. The MS is requiring the GRE. The MPH has it as an optional item that you can include if you feel that your undergraduate GPA is perhaps not reflective of your ability to do graduate level work. And so you want to add the GRE as additional evidence of that. And every applicant undergoes a holistic review. So application deadlines. For priority admission to the MPH program, November 15th. All MS applicants, December 15th. The regular deadline for the MPH is January 15th. And then the fall start, part-time only in fall, MPH only, May 1st. For questions beyond the breakout rooms later today, ppgadmissions@northwestern.edu or check our website, publichealth.northwestern.edu. And I thank you, and I look forward to seeing many of you in the breakout room.
Thank you, Maureen. We appreciate it. We now welcome Rutgers.
Hello, hello. How are you all today? Give me 1 second. Let's see if we can get this started. Okay, can you all see my presentation?
Looks great.
Great, thank you. So my name is Brittany Gerstick. I'm with the Rutgers School of Public Health. I'm an admissions counselor with the school. So I like to start off by giving a little bit of information about who we are as a school, go into our mission a little bit, just because I think it sort of exemplifies, what we look for in applicants, how we base our school, and sort of what our values are. So you'll see here that engaging collaboratively is a really important part of this. And equity and social justice is something that we take pretty seriously here as well. I've heard the dean say that, that there are definitely activism components to being involved in public health, right? It's about impacting the world around you. And that is something that we really take to heart here in the school. And so you'll see that reflected in our mission, in our definitions of public health, and all of that sort of across our website. So you'll see here that we have our pillar goals that are listed, which again sort of reflect those same commitments that I was just speaking about. So we have some quick facts here. We are ranked in the top 10 among schools in public health for student diversity. That is something that we are very intentional about. It's something that we definitely actively work on. And that's something that's true both with our faculty and staff as well as with our students. So one of the things that we're working on is, making sure that we're actively recruiting BIPOC representatives to our faculty. We have some spots that I know the dean has reserved specifically to help create diversity within faculty for like newly graduated PhD students and things of that nature. We do have small class sizes, which is nice. I think everybody hears Rutgers and it's great because you get the big Rutgers impact, right? All the big Rutgers resources. But the School of Public Health itself is relatively small. We typically bring in about 200 MPH students each year. So you will know your fellow students, you will know your faculty, your advisor, and they will all know you. So you get the one-on-one attention, but you also get all of the big Rutgers resources, which works really well for our students. You get the best of both worlds. And then we do have 2 locations. Our flagship location is in the Piscataway, New Brunswick location. And then we also have some of our programs are available in Newark as well. We offer a wide variety of degrees. Our MPH programs are definitely, some of the most popular programs that we offer, but we also offer some MS programs. We have some new MS programs that are coming out. We have certificate programs, which you can add on to your MPH curriculum or take as just a singular certificate program. 2 doctoral level programs, a DRPH and a PhD, and we also offer articulated options for students who are undergraduates, either with Rutgers or with NJIT. They can get a jump start on their MPH curriculum. In addition to this, we also have some dual degree options available. So things like MSW, MPH for social work, MBA, MPH, and so those are available as well. So you'll see here, this is just sort of a breakdown of what those different degree options are. Our MPH programs, we have 12 or 13 different concentrations within the MPH, and all of them are 45 credits. So each student takes the same 18 core credits, and then beyond that, you do curriculum that's based on your concentration specifically, and then you'll also do capstone and practicum experiences. PhD, DRPH, of course, are a little bit lengthier programs, and the certificate programs are only 12 to 18 credits. So if you are looking to add a certificate program onto your MPH, typically 6 or so of those credits can be cross-counted for your MPH and the certificate program. And what that means is then that if you take an MPH program and you want to add a certificate on, you're really only looking at an additional 6 to 12 credits, but it does give you another area of concentration to add on, which is really nice. So here are our full list of certificate options, master's programs, doctoral programs, and dual degree programs. So like I said, we do have a wide variety happening here. Our epidemiology program here you'll see is Currently, it's just an MPH program, but in hopefully the next year, we're in process of getting approvals for that to also offer an MS program. So right now, it's just the biostatistics program, which is MS and MPH, but the epidemiology program, hopefully, fingers crossed, in the next year or so, will also be an MS and an MPH offering. So when you apply, you can select one or the other. But the vast majority of these concentrations within the master's program are MPH only. And then the health outcomes policy and economics is an MS program. The application process is pretty straightforward. I think it's going to mirror pretty much everybody else who's here. The thing I want to point out to you here is the GRE. It is optional for our students. So for the MPH curriculum, it is permanently optional, right? You do not have to submit it. For our MS and our PhD program, it is typically required, but has been waived again this year due to COVID and, access issues for a lot of students. We are not test blind. So what that means is that if you choose to submit the GRE, you are certainly more than welcome to, and we will review it. But it is not a requirement. So submit it if you think it will help your application. Otherwise, it's not a requirement. We do a holistic review process. And what that means is that we look at each part of your application and we look at them individually and as a whole. I get a lot of questions from students on, what can I do to my application to make it better? And there's no one magic solution to that. We are really looking at your application as a whole, right? We are looking at it in all of the components. And so we will take a look at all of that together. These are our deadlines. January 15th is our fall deadline, and October 15th, if you're looking to apply for the spring, is our priority spring deadline. And these are our upcoming events. I'm sorry, I'm rushing through. I think I'm over my time limit. These are our upcoming events. The one I really want to point out is our open house on October 5th. There is a link to these in the top right corner. And if you want, if you're looking to register for these, I can put them in the chat also. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, I ran over my time.
Thank you so much. We now welcome University of Arizona.
Okay, Nick, can we see the screen?
We sure can.
All right, thank you all so much for the opportunity to be here. Give me one moment while I, okay, so my name is Andre Dickerson. I utilize he, him pronouns, and I serve as the Assistant Dean for Student Services and Alumni Affairs here at the University of Arizona. Very, very excited to be here representing the institution. So as we kind of move forward, first slide, just want to kind of showcase the beautiful campus that we have. And we're going to pretty much just kind of start off with some college highlights. So the benefit for the Zuckerman College of Public Health is we have a really great opportunity for students.
I think we may have lost Andre.
Oh, sorry, can you hear me now?
Nope, now we can hear you.
Okay, so sorry. Give me one moment. So yes, I'm not sure what you heard. So we have a focus on chronic diseases, which includes diabetes research, obesity, cancer, and we also have a growing faculty looking at infectious diseases. At the college, you have an opportunity to study and engage in work relating to health disparities and really be at the ground level doing community-based participatory research. We also have a focus on global health, and that's everything from the curriculum within the degrees. We have certifications as well as study abroad opportunities relating to internships and just the opportunity to explore and engage in the research. Outstanding opportunities for service learning. We are a mid-sized institution, and overall, we have amazing, amazing, amazing people here, from the faculty to the staff and our students that are looking at going out and making a significant impact in the world. Now, in addition to that, it's beautiful. I'm originally from California, and I'm coming to the institution by way of Washington State, and I will share with you, having experienced several climates and several landscapes and places, Arizona is absolutely beautiful. So as we're looking at not only the highlights of the college and the scenery, I want to get a chance to go and start talking about our programs. So at our master's levels, we have 2 year programs that are the MPH programs that can be completed within 2 years or 6 if you are a part-time student. And here are the concentrations: biostats, environmental health, environmental and occupational health, epidemiology, One Health, etc. The value of this is we have quite a few programs that hopefully will meet your interests and your career goals and aspirations. Now, this is going to be, these are our residential programs that are housed in Tucson, but we also have those in Phoenix. So depending on if you are an Arizona resident and you're looking at the U of A, we also have residential programs in Phoenix. In addition to our MPHs, we also have the MS degree, which is going to be our Masters of Science in Biostatistics, Environmental Sciences, as well as Epidemiology. And so these are really great opportunities for whether you're going into the professional world in the field and you're looking to lead potentially the Department of Public Health, you're looking to work at a national institution, or if you're looking at working in research or anything else that's preparing you to train for potentially a doctoral program or degree. As we move forward, looking at the doctoral programs, we have our PhD in biostats, environmental health sciences, EPI, as well as health behavior, health promotion, as well as our DRPH and maternal and child health, as well as public health and policy and management. As you can see there, for students who are pursuing the degrees full-time, you can complete between 3 to 5 years, with 2 to 3 being coursework and 1 to 2 for dissertation. And those of our students who are part-time are typically completing within 5 to 8 years. In addition to our residential programs, because both the MPH, MS, as well as PhD, DRPH that we've showcased thus far, those are all residential programs. We also offer our fully online MPH program with concentrations in applied epidemiology, health behavior, health promotion, and health services administration. And this is great. This is absolutely great for the working professional, and it's structured in that manner, being 100% fully online, being year-round, and having the 7.5-week courses. So it's a little bit of a faster pace, but it works very well for the working professional. Looking at our deadlines, this is a snapshot of our deadlines for fall 2022, forgive me. This is where we are. So if you are interested, I recommend, of course, we'll have the opportunity to chat in the breakout rooms, and you can kind of get an idea and a gauge of where we are, with most of the deadlines being December 1 for those MS and doctoral programs, and the MPHs being early January for our priority. Similar for our online MPH programs, we're looking at a July 1. For those of our students who are international, it is important for us to make sure that we are seeing that the students have completed the appropriate tests and have the scores necessary for the international applicants. We could talk about that more specifically in the breakout rooms. And if you are interested in submitting the GRE or the MCAT, especially for those students who are going to be dual MD, MPH students, please know it's not required. However, we will review them if you submit them. And for the MPH students, we really want to see you at the 50th percentile or above. So how to apply, we want to make sure from a financial aid standpoint that we are sharing with you what resources we have. So we do offer FAFSA, obviously, at the institution. We do have graduate assistant and teaching assistantships that you can apply for, that's operated out of my office specifically. And we also have a number of scholarships and awards that we can provide you all. And yes, so the last thing I want to kind of share with that respect as it relates to the actual aid is if you are a resident of any of these 15 Western regional states, you are eligible to actually receive in-state tuition at the University of Arizona at the graduate MPH, MS, DRPH, and PhD level. Meaning, if you're coming from Oregon, Washington, California, Idaho, Montana, Nevada, Alaska, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, North Dakota, South Dakota, etc., we will offer you which equivalent to about $20 or so thousand in scholarship to earn or to pay in-state tuition. Just kind of looking at what that looks like. This is what our in-state tuition is, as well as our out-of-state if you're outside of those 14 states. And then this is just our contact information. So if you are interested, feel free, you can take a picture of this slide and you can contact us after. If not, I will see you at the breakout session.
Thank you so much. We now welcome our next presenter, University of Iowa.
Hi, everyone. Give me 1 minute to share my screen here. Okay. So thank you all for being here. It's great. It's great to get back to some of these recruiting events. Yeah, my name is Lexi Just. I'm the Associate Director of Admissions and Recruitment for the University of Iowa College of Public Health. So for the next 5 minutes or so, I'm just going to rattle off some facts and figures at you about our graduate programs, the University of Iowa in general, and our community. So I definitely encourage you to do a deeper dive. These schools are gonna sound very familiar and similar after you hear us all. So definitely do a deeper dive into our programs. Reach out to me with any questions in the breakout sessions or via email after today. So the University of Iowa is located in Iowa City, Iowa. We're a culturally diverse city in the heartland. We're about 4 hours away from Chicago, St. Louis, Omaha, Minneapolis, all of those big cities. But Iowa City is consistently ranked as one of the best college towns in the United States. If you have not been to our campus or Iowa City in general, I invite you to take a tour of campus. I invite you to check out Iowa City, see what's going on in this community. I think you'll be surprised and impressed by all the things that are going on here. So some quick facts about the College of Public Health. We are about 600 students strong. So that includes our graduate programs and our undergrads. We're an R1 research institution. That's huge because that creates a ton of opportunities for students. Our faculty last year alone, fiscal year 2021, brought in about $44 million in grants. And so that's huge. And our tuition is consistently ranked as a Best Buy. In fact, we're going straight on 16 years in that category. The University of Iowa College of Public Health is a top 20 ranked school. Why that's important is because you know you're getting the best of the best. What sets us apart? So you're hearing a lot of the same things. Low student to faculty ratio. You saw our number, we're 600 students. That's about 300 graduate students. So you do get to know our faculty, you get to know our staff, you get to know your fellow students. You get to know your collaborations and collaborators that are in the College of Public Health, College of Medicine, College of Pharmacy, College of Dentistry, all right here on our campus. There's a ton of research opportunities. That is one place that deeper dive is needed. Look at what our faculty are doing. Look and see who you want to work with, who you want to take classes from. There are plenty of opportunities to be involved with those faculty members, as well as other alumni mentors, other faculty mentors, peer mentors, tons of student opportunities. We pride ourselves in creating opportunities for our students. We have a very strong alumni base, and we have a great newer College of Public Health on our campus. You're going to see a lot of similarities here as well. The degrees that we offer, we have the professional degree of the MPH. People just call our degrees a little bit different names. Community behavioral health is behavioral health sciences, etc. The MPH degree is our most subscribed to program at the University of Iowa College of Public Health, but we have a top 10 ranked Master of Health Administration. We have the executive MHA, we have MS and PhD programs as well in all 5 of our core departments. There are plenty of opportunities to do dual degrees here. You can do dual degrees with official combined programs such as MD, MPH, PharmD, MPH, et cetera, et cetera. You can also create your own. If you're in between programs, if you're thinking, for example, you want to get a higher graduate degree in psychology, you can always combine that with public health. That's a great opportunity to get the best of both worlds there. Our application varies by department and program. I encourage you to check out our website. You're not going to remember all of this stuff, so you're going to be on our website anyway. You can see our deadlines. You can see the specific requirements for each program. Generally speaking, these are the requirements: 3 letters of recommendation, personal statement, resume or CV, official transcripts. No GRE required across the board. That's fabulous and fantastic. Assistantships and scholarships are available for all of our programs. You know, with those research dollars coming in, that there's going to be a lot of opportunities for assistantships. And that is something that you would communicate with your program coordinator within your department that you're admitted to, as well as the faculty members once you're admitted. The last slide I'm going to show you is just to connect with us. The best way to get to know us and our programs is through our social media channels, as well as reaching out to us and attending events. We have a top 20 actually ranked podcast. It's a student-run podcast. Check that out, as well as our social media channels. Recruitment events are posted here. Admissions questions, please contact me anytime. I look forward to hearing from all of you. Thank you for the time, and I'll turn it over to the next presenter.
Thanks, Lexi.
Yeah.
We now welcome University of North Carolina.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I am going to share my screen and get started. So my name is Johnston King. I'm really excited to speak with you all today about the UNC Gillings School of Global Public Health. I want to say how great it is to also be with my colleagues from other schools and programs of public health. It's always great and exciting to hear what their faculty and students and staff are doing at their institutions. Also want to say thank you to Nick and the entire ASPPH staff for hosting these events. They're really helpful opportunities for us to get to know you, the students, and for you to get to know our programs. So moving forward, I've been at Gillings for just over 6.5 years. I've worked with all of our departments and concentrations on admissions and recruitment initiatives. We have over 70 programs at UNC Gillings. So I will not take the time to dive in and explain each individual program, but I am excited to meet you all in the breakout rooms to hear about your interest in public health and hear how our programs at Gillings may align with your interests. I also get to have the opportunity to work with the SOFIS Recruitment Advisory Council, which is, it's definitely pretty cool to see all the great things that are going on to help train the next generation of public health leaders. A few quick facts about UNC Gillings. #1 public school of public health, and overall #2 school of public health. Our enrollment is just over 2,200. A few things to highlight about kind of the school also would be that in the past year, our faculty secured about just over $200 million in NIH funding. And while we are, you know, our degrees like the MPH degree or practice-based degree, we do have a good amount of research that's going on, and those research opportunities are available for our doctoral students, but also there are plenty of assistantship opportunities for master's students. So you can see that our strategic initiatives, these are just a few of the larger initiatives, but the school research definitely extends well beyond these areas of interest. There are 100 counties in North Carolina, and we are proud of our graduates working in all 100 counties of North Carolina. I think our graduates are located in 49 out of 50 states throughout the United States. So if you're from North Dakota, you want to come to Gillings and go back to North Dakota, you could help us become 50 for 50. And then we're also proud of our graduates that are working around the world in more than 80 countries. I really am excited to get to speak to you all and hear and learn about your interest in public health. So I look forward to seeing you all in the breakout rooms. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Justin. We now welcome our last presentation, University of Pittsburgh.
Sorry, let me just get my screen going. Hi, everyone. My name is Cindy Bryce. I'm on the faculty in the Department of Health Policy and Management at Pitt Public Health. And I'm also Associate Dean for Enrollment and very excited to talk with you all today. For starters, I just want to share with you this photograph of our school following a multi-year renovation and the addition of about 60,000 square feet of space to our building. That includes a new commons area that's open to everyone in the school, and a great deal, those top 3 floors that you see are lighting up a laboratory pavilion for 3 of our departments. We are centrally located in Pitt's Oakland campus in the city of Pittsburgh. And it's important to mention to you all that all of the schools of the health sciences offered at Pitt are located at the same campus. So that really makes collaboration and accessing faculty and resources at other schools of the health sciences very accessible. Why Pitt Public Health? Well, like a lot of the folks that you're hearing from today, we are a strong institution when it comes to research. As I just mentioned, we are one of 6 schools of the health sciences. You have access to all of them from the Oakland campus, and also some of our other schools and professions, including business law and social work. We are also central in the middle of a lot of healthcare institutions and hospitals in the area. And all of that makes public health a really strong program in the city. Our programs all provide our students with real world experience through practicum and residency placements. And we take our mission of service, research, and education very seriously. Because we're a school of public health, one of the important steps to getting to know us is to investigate and look more into our 7 academic departments that you see listed here. All 7 departments offer both master's and doctoral degree programs. And when you apply to Pitt Public Health, it's important that you'll specify not only the degree program that you're interested in, but the degree program within one of these 7 departments. You want to find out where your interests fit best. And so I just want to take a minute to start to guide your search through those 7 departments. Like a lot of accredited schools of public health, we have 5 departments that reflect what have historically and traditionally been considered the core areas of public health. We have a department devoted to each of those that you see here. But we also have 2 departments that are rather rare in schools of public health. Typically, these departments are found more commonly in the schools of medicine, and Pitt has them in our schools of medicine as well, but we think it's particularly special to have a department of human genetics, one of the only schools in the country with a standalone department of human genetics at the School of Public Health. And also probably safe to say that it's pretty important from a public health standpoint to have a Department of Infectious Disease within the School of Public Health, as we all know now. I mentioned the new laboratory space and pavilion within our school, and if that's where you are interested in pursuing your work, then these are 3 departments that you might want to look into when you begin exploring our website. On the other hand, if you like the idea of being in the community and working in practice-based fields, these are some of the departments that you might be interested in looking into. If you are a quantitative person who enjoys numbers and data analysis, and you like discerning patterns and relationships in that data, then these are 3 of our more quantitative departments. And finally, I just want to call attention to a couple of departments that are fairly unique in terms of programs beyond the MPH that they have available. In general, Pitt Public Health does not offer or produce clinically trained professionals per se, but the one exception to that is our Master of Science in Genetic Counseling program. So I want to make you aware that that is available at Pitt Public Health. And similarly, we have a Master's of Health Administration for people who want to be part of healthcare institutions in a managerial or administrative capacity. In terms of financial aid, I just want to make sure you know how it works at Pitt Public Health. Funding for doctoral students is generally determined by the department to which you apply and are accepted, and they will let you know what is available. It's tied very closely to research funding for many of our students and in many of our departments. I want to make sure you know that funding for master students was expanded in 2020. And we provided over $1 million to the cohort that entered our master's programs in fall of 2020. In fall of 2021, we awarded more than $2 million in financial aid to the incoming master's students. And all of these awards with satisfactory academic progress are renewable for your second year in the program. So this is a program that we have really worked hard to build, and we're very happy to offer again in the coming year. This is just a couple of places that you can begin searching for more details about the programs that we've been talking about. And I want to call your attention to the idea that we have some virtual events coming up soon. You can register for them on our website as well. And if you have any questions at all, here is a general email address for me and my team, and we will put you in touch with the department or the points of contact that can help you best. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We now ask all the presenters to turn on their camera, and we'll do a quick Q&A. This is a general question and answer. If you want to ask any questions, feel free to do that in the chat. But we will just kind of keep these to generic questions. If you have any specific questions to schools, feel free to ask them in the breakout room. The breakout rooms, you'll be able to jump around for an hour between all of the schools. So first question, feel free, anybody who wants to jump at this one is, what is the best advice you would have for a student who wants to stand out in their personal statement?
I don't mind going if that's okay. In general, I really invite people to tell their story. And I would suggest that you help us understand the experiences and the education to date that lead you to this particular crossroads that have brought you to a decision where you think you want to be in public health, and share whatever experiences or education you think is relevant to that process and that you're willing to share with us. That is part of the holistic admissions that so many schools have talked about today. And lived experience is an important contributor to your readiness and your preparedness for public health.
I'll add something there. I would add too that a lot of the schools of public health require you to answer a couple of questions in the personal statement. So they have specific instructions. So I would encourage you to make sure you're reading those instructions, make sure you are answering the questions in your personal statement that the schools are asking you, and have those be unique to each school that you're applying to. And the last quick point would be to proofread, right? Have other people read it, make sure it makes sense. Show them, have the people that you're having proofread, show them the questions that you're supposed to answer and sort of the highlights that the school is requiring, so that you're hitting those. Have it read by a writing center, friends, neighbors, whomever, but have that looked at too.
If I can add anything to it, I would also say articulate an interest, maybe in the specific concentration that you're interested in, and maybe how your experience and background will allow for you to become of value to either a research group or to a faculty mentor that you will be able to work with.
Great, thank you. Another piece of advice I had heard is try not to make your personal statement look like you had just copy and pasted it and sent the same personal statement to everybody. So be mindful of that as well. Another question, we get a lot of questions about SOFIS and that application process. Does anyone have any advice on how to kind of manage that successfully and how to work through that?
My biggest piece of advice is apply early. The verification process takes time. So you just want to make sure that you are getting started on that process earlier rather than later. I know that for our deadlines, we need your application to be fully complete and verified by those dates, and that can take some time. So just making sure that everything is ready. And check out their FAQ and quick start page. Like, they have a ton of information that's available there. And so that's, I think, a really good resource that I regularly point prospective students to.
I'd also emphasize that a lot of what we ask for are required of us. We don't have a choice in the matter when it comes to TOEFL scores or WES evaluation for international applicants. Those are university requirements. So we will not be able to move forward with your packet until that information is received.
Thank you. The next question, you can, and feel free if any of you want to type a chat response to some people, or just wait for the breakout rooms. But the next question is, if you are working full-time, can you pursue a degree at your institution?
I'm going to take that one on. At Northwestern, we certainly welcome students who are working full-time in the Chicago area. And we have a number of students who are working in our Chicago campus in the Streeterville neighborhood of Chicago. So, you know, if you're not living in the Chicago area, that's a little trickier.
At Drexel Dornsife, you can complete the program part-time, evenings, fully online. So there's a lot of flexibility with the plans of study and being able to balance both your professional career, but then continuing to further your graduate education at the MS or MPH levels.
That's true for the Rutgers School of Public Health as well. Full-time MPH students can expect to complete the program as quickly as 2 years. Part-time takes a little longer, of course, but we also offer evening courses, summer courses, things like that to help you progress through sort of at your own rate.
At UNC Gillings, we have an executive DRPH program where students complete about 90% of it online with 3 campus visits required. So that's one of our doctoral programs, our only doctoral program that students can complete while working.
I would say this remains to be the truth for University of Arizona as well, specifically looking at our MPH program.
Pitt has a lot of part-time students. It works really well if you're in the vicinity. We have limited number of evening classes. We have some. So you need to have the flexibility with your employer to be able to attend classes. And we know that's a challenge, but we get a lot of people who whose employer is Pitt. So it works pretty well.
I think everyone went, right? Okay. Next question. We have 2 more and then we'll get to the breakout rooms. How has the pandemic changed your program, and have you seen an increase in applications or interest in public health?
I'll go first again. We have certainly seen an increase in interest in the Master of Public Health degree since the pandemic. And in fact, this was the first year in my 25 years with the program that we had a waiting list for the MPH degree program. So yes, it certainly has increased interest. Of course, since March of 2020, we've been online and slowly coming back to in-person classes. So that was a change for us, and we managed to pivot, but are now switching back to in-person on our Chicago campus.
Yeah, I think a lot of schools benefited from the awareness that was raised during COVID. of the importance of public health and the opportunities career-wise. It's not always all pandemic related by any stretch of the imagination, but we all know how important it has been for us in the last 18 months to have good public health infrastructure available. So yes, our interest did increase. It hasn't permanently changed what we offer, what we were just discussing in terms of online or evening. We certainly feel better equipped to consider those changes moving forward, to create possibly online programs, but we tend to get students who want to be here in person. It's obviously that's all we can accept. And so our students missed being in the classroom. And so we are returning to in-person as well.
I think a unintentional benefit that's been fantastic at UNC Gillings is that more students are coming from different backgrounds to public health. And so we were excited this year to see an increase of our BIPOC students incoming class by 57%.
That's great. Thank you. I'm just going to post something. I'm getting a lot of scholarship questions. For most of the schools, they have their own scholarships listed right on their admissions page. But I'm just going to send you our website on ASPPH's website called Financing Your Degree. Obviously, where people keep their scholarships on their website is different, but it all is probably listed on their admissions page. Right, last question of the day, and then we'll get into the breakout rooms. Is there anything on an application that you don't want to see, or that you see a lot of that you would encourage people to maybe avoid? I don't know if that question made sense, but
I'll answer it how I'm interpreting it. So what we see is we ask students to really highlight their public health experience or exposure to public health or experience volunteering in public health. And sometimes people don't understand what that is, more so thinking about medicine opportunities that they've had or something in a hospital setting and not really highlighting public health. And so I would encourage y'all to consider, looking at the experiences that you have and really think through what's public health and really highlight that in your personal statement as well as on your resume.
Yeah, I would add to that. I agree 100%. I think something that often students miss is just how important it is to really discuss your choice of concentration in the personal statement. Like public health specifically, yes, good, definitely include that, but specifically about why you're choosing to pursue health systems and policy or LGBTQ health or whatever it is that you're pursuing. Really, you want to talk about that a lot. And I think that's often something that students miss as part of that process.
Nick, can I just respond to the last question that was in the chat, which is about the application fee? I think students should understand that for the schools that participate in SOFIS, the fee is from SOFIS. There may be additional fees at the school level. I can't speak to the folks here. That is an individual school decision, and you can approach those schools about waiving that part of the fee. But much of the fee is at the SOFIS level for pulling together all those pieces of your application and processing that into a packet. And it is, but you can contact SOFIS directly to look into the possibility of waivers from them. It is not something that any school, the school would have to cover those costs. There are always, but many of the schools are not charging the fees, or the fees are not the majority of what you're looking at. So don't blame us.
And just there is fee waivers available if you just go to SOFIS website, and if you Google fee waivers SOFIS, it explains to you how to apply for those, and we do give out a lot of those. So if you are in need of a fee waiver, just that information is on the SOFIS website. All right.